maybe? Nickel?
McDonald?
Hey, well, wow. The magic spell worked. We're live.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Retroverse. This is Vaccine Game, where everything is awesome. Again, we unfortunately do not have Sammy with us, but we still have Aya, who is playing the wonderful Koyo. She is a Ceran Holoknight. And does anybody want to volunteer to say what the hell happened last session?
Well, there was a bunch of stuff about Harry Potter, and then somebody hadn't seen the Half-Blood Prince, and they wanted to know what the Half. Oh, wait, you mean last game, not before?
Yeah,
Okay.
like 8 years ago.
Well,
Let me tell you, everybody was acting super unprofessional. I was just trying to do my goddamn job, and now we're here.
Checks out.
All I remember is
everybody got super drunk at like Applebee's or whatever.
Pizza Hut, but yeah.
All I remember is Barkley has a game or something that he's going to, and that's all I remember.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
Barkley finally went to sleep, and then
that's right. I passed out the whole time. That's right.
Okay.
That's why I got a call from Coach.
Yeah.
So,
right.
You guys decided that you were going to meet up with the professor, and with this contact that he had encountered that knew quite a bit about Cyblades and had been tracking them. You guys all went out to dinner to discuss these findings, and half of the party got sloshed. And Bob's character flirted with Koyo and got smacked down hilariously. There is a clip on my Twitter, and I'm sorry, Bob, but it was fucking hilarious.
So
and while talking to the professor, you learned a couple of things. You learned that what you already knew is that these Cyblades seem to be popping up more and more frequently, which they definitely should not be, considering most of them were supposed to have been destroyed after the Machine Wars. You also learned that it seems as if the creatures that the chemist was trying to infect with the Cyblade virus were no longer just humanoids. Typically, they focused on humanoids, elves, humans, Rye. But there were videos and papers and notes talking about infecting different things like monstrosities, aberrations, even a celestial in one case. So you guys talked about that. You talked some about how to protect against a Cyblade, and then specifically how to track them, which the professor has been working on. And then Koyo revealed a thing that she hadn't really thought was super significant until she realized the fact that you guys have so much connections with Cyblades, and that Bark streams everything you do, or at least did until very recently. That one of the last crime scenes she had seen that had been connected to the Cyblades had a patch of material that, now that she thought about it, looked very similar to the jerseys that Bark's team wears. And we had left off with you guys in the lab discussing, I believe, Koyo, the professor, and Vox are working on a Cyblade sonar and a way to track them. And the rest of you guys were talking about maybe doing some shopping or some such. Somebody's air conditioning or heat just kicked on or something.
Oh, it's a garage door.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you guys are in the lab. What are you gonna want to do to prepare?
My eye sockets light up, and I'm like, whoa, that was a great nap. Feels like I napped for 3 weeks. Looks at camera, then looks away from camera. Why don't we go?
So, do we have any kind of special hazmat gear to deal with these infectious creatures? I mean, like anti-Cyblade has, rad suits, isolation shields, or any amulets, or anything. I don't know. What do we got?
Professor's like, there hasn't really been anything developed like that, considering no one's run into these things in over a couple of 100 years. I know that there are some magical items that can project a field entirely around the body, but they're machines. The nanite virus, what they do is they eat through material. Anything they encounter, they're going to eat through it and attempt to infect you just by eating through whatever it is you're wearing.
Oh yeah.
It might provide some small protection, but not a lot. So there, you can protect yourself as long as the cyblight is a corpse. If it is a corpse, then the nanites are inactive. If it is up and moving around, it will stop at nothing to try and infect you until it does or it's dead.
So best just to keep it at a distance.
Yes.
I can.
But I did do some research into it. And from the little conversation that Crypto and I had, I think that there are a handful of spells that some of you may know how to cast that could help cure it as long as you catch it early enough. There are, I believe, lesser and greater restoration can cure disease. But you have to catch it. So obviously you all have seen cyblights. When you're infected, the moment that you come in contact and you actually contract the virus, you don't look any different, and you're probably not going to feel any different. But at some point between infection and a certain period, you undergo a transformation that makes you look like that. And he just points to the picture of the cyblight on the computer screen, and he's like, at a certain point you undergo a transformation. Studies vary on whether it's like, some say 3 days, some say it's 10 days. Once you go through that transformation, there is no cure as far as we're aware. So don't let it get to that.
We'll do our best. I don't know.
I don't know how best that is, though. But I will try to keep these buffoons as clean as possible.
I appreciate that, and I'll definitely have the hazmat showers when you get in.
Buffoons? I prefer the term bonehead.
I get it.
Thank you, Crypto. Thank you.
Oh my god, Crypto's my favorite.
Crypto's a good boy.
But in truth, Bonehead, you probably don't say it around other Restless. Don't say you have a Restless friend and they're okay with you saying it like that, but don't actually say that. Anyway, let's go. I gotta go do warm-ups.
Remember to wash your hands. 20 seconds.
Okay.
So in the meantime, I think I remember saying that the professor, for your troubles and all of the nonsense in the virtual world and fighting the chemist, the professor did give you each, I want to say it was another 2,000 gold
Oh, great.
in payment.
Oh, that's new to me. Thank you.
I feel like I must not have been keeping up with my gold, or I just spent a fuck ton of it on something because I only had 170.
Yeah, you spent it on your hat pin of disguise, I believe.
To be fair, I only remember the initial like 500 gold we got from like episode 2.
Yeah.
I've been kind of hoarding that. I didn't realize we got more like Subnautica or something.
I spent all I got in Subnautica and I didn't get anything else.
I
Noted down.
I just know I spent all my money when I was on the other game to save my goddamn girlfriend. It didn't matter.
Sorry, she's alive now.
Tried so hard, it got so far.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Well, aside from just mentally preparing myself to go on the offensive.
All right, here's the battle plan. As I pull up the basketball court stadium map with minor illusions.
That's what we needed.
Yeah,
We
go
needed
for it.
a training montage.
And then I pull up a hollow professor's glasses as a hollow weapon, and a hollow pointer stick thing that you have, and he's just like pointing at random spots in the minor illusion, and he's like, "All right, so I'm thinking, well, in order for us to get contact with this blight virus, we would have to make direct contact, correct? Well, what if we never made direct contact with the room? You see, I specialize in indirect contact. I'm gonna make a copy of myself and have him be on the court, and I could make copies of you all being in the crowd, or maybe a front row seat. And they'll think you're there, and they might try to attack him, and when they do, they'll go right through it. It's all an illusion. It's all a big show.
Yes, but how do we fight it?
Well, then we would know who has it, and then we attack. With remote attacks, nothing direct. No swords, if we can help it. No any of that stuff. Maybe guns, but even then, maybe we should keep it on the down low. Yes, crypto, as I point the stick at you.
Oh, I do have a gun. All right.
What's Mike's secret stuff?
The secret stuff. Well, that's
what's Mike's secret stuff?
Oh, see, no, that's it's not drugs, but it does help us before we go into the game. It's really powerful, really powerful drink that I don't have my bottle in here. Darn it! I was gonna pull up the source bottle. Go ahead.
Where's the rest of the team, our team, actually going to be during this farcical game with your illusion? I mean, are we going to have people spread out throughout the crowd? Are they going to be all on the playing surface? Are they going to be in the skybox? Where are we planning on putting our people?
Good question. Anyone know of any way of? I think I'll be pretty busy doing that part. But for concealing yourselves, do any of you have any ideas? Maybe I can cast invisibility, but I can only do that so much.
He'll reach up and tweak he's going to fiddle the tip of his little hat pin of disguise and turn himself into a slightly off-brand version of you. Maybe he's got like the beard, chin strap, facial hair in addition to the fro.
I see you found some of those fan-made movies online. The ones that they're just far enough that they're not copyright infringed.
I mean, I can make versions of myself.
It's like Barkley, but instead of like an afro, it's just like these giant mutton chops, but they're just equal fro-y kind of hair.
Yeah, amazing.
It's just like an underfro situation.
Oh yeah, it's just a beard, just a big fuzzy beard.
What? Forgot the word for beard. Oh my god.
It's been a while. You're fine. There's no dwarves here. There's no dwarves here. You're fine.
Anyway, I feel like I would be a good candidate to try and keep this thing occupied. I can keep it at range with my chain and also with my code blasts. So either way, I've got some good options for keeping it occupied.
I can also duplicate myself if that is necessary, and we can distract it that way.
I can throw a fireball.
Yes, crypto.
I think I could help distract and even search for this thing as well. I think I have a couple of spells that can detect disease, because that's what these things are, right?
Yeah, technically they would be infected with the disease.
So I could help kind of detect and walk the perimeter or something like that, or in the crowd, looking, and I can point them out.
Sounds good. You can sniff them out with your spells.
I'm good at tracking, but I would need like a piece of the thing with its scent or something.
Universe, how well do I know the building that the stadium is?
Extremely well.
The piece of clothing
Daiyo,
that I found.
I could get you access into the upper rafters, and you could stay up there. And whenever things start going down, you got a good high ground.
That's also fine.
Y'all should give him.
Yeah, do I think the
fall parachute or something?
Sorry, the piece of clothing that I found, was it like one of the, like a victim or like a monster, or like what the? Like
It didn't belong to to anyone that you didn't see the victim that had been killed wasn't wearing it.
Okay.
Excuse me. When you first saw it, you were under the impression that it was just a piece of memorabilia that was snatched because this person had been a huge fan based on the stuff in their apartment.
Mm.
In hindsight now, you're wondering if it might have actually been like an original that had been signed, and maybe they were using it to try and find a way closer to the team.
Okay. Well, I have this piece of clothing. Will that be useful for your tracking?
I can inspect it.
Just be careful. It's evidence.
Yeah.
It's in like a little plastic baggie.
Oh yeah, of course. It has like all the labels on it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Can I will try to open it. I have the Bloodhound bird that I have advantage in survival checks tracking down things if I have something from the target.
Sure. Yeah.
So do I roll that?
I will say let's wait until you get a little closer to it. But when you do, you will have advantage. Real quick, Scotty, a description of what Bark remembers of the stadium. Mm-hmm. The entire thing is absolutely massive. It's obviously in a gigantic circle. However, it's usually completely enclosed. It does have the dome over the top can open up, but typically for this time of year they keep it closed. The main like outer area where like the food vendors and everything are is just all plain concrete because it's the easiest to clean with crowds and food and all kinds of drinks and whatnot. The part where the actual game is played is this combination of like a sort of bouncy synthetic plastic material that's a little softer on your knees, but underneath of that, under a thin layer of that material are metal lines that are filled with the materials to create holographic walls and different things to create the hoops and to create barriers and the thing, because it's not totally normal basketball. And the idea being that it's sort of like holographic cross between regular basketball and like holographic maze grids that can pop up and you have to try and like parkour over them or around them, or sometimes you use your holographic stuff to like make bridges over them and shit like that. The ceiling is about 50 feet high or so.
Okay.
And then there are like rafters up there where you could Daiyo could hang on to it. Definitely won't be the most comfortable seat in the house. I mean, it's metal bars. Her ass is going to be sore as shit after a few minutes, but
we'll get her a cushion. That's fine.
Notice a minor downside to my plan. I just looked at my spells and my copy's duration, and it's not very long, to say the least. Games don't last a minute.
Not unless you're really good. Or really bad.
Can you upcast it?
I can upcast it, but that doesn't change how long I can keep it up.
That should be a thing.
That's going into third edition territory almost. But I'm fine with that. Yeah, it probably should do that instead of hit points.
You have mirror image, right?
Yes, I do, but that is focused on me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We're just saying that the Quantum Holoknight, because I'm assuming you're pulling up your editor notes for Retroverse.
I was actually not. I was looking at something else. But I'm listening. What's up?
Instead of the hit points going up on spell level, maybe just the duration goes up.
Oh, for the
Quantum Holoknight thing. Duplicate. But anyway, so I guess I'm possibly going to have to risk it. So, since I'll have to actually be there, Crypto, I'm going to have to rely on you to be within a fairly close distance in case I get infected. Also, how
Yeah.
many times can you? Is there a limit to how many? If any of us get infected, how many times could you do it?
I would take a guess that I could do that a maximum amount of six times.
All right, so one for
So
each
let's
of
all be
us.
very careful.
But for everything, probably the most dangerous thing we got to deal with is we're not alone in here. We can't just draw off explosion. There's going to be a lot of other people in the crowd. A lot of other players on my team, the Jolly Rogers, that obviously don't want to get injured. They got great insurance, it'll be fine, but it won't be good for their RPR.
Don't worry, we will make sure that all the civilians are safe. I will.
Should we try to destroy, or should we try to keep this blight thing alive for interrogation? Or
does y'all stadium have a force cage setting for when y'all are playing, spider hockey?
I gotta ask. Universe.
So it's not like they have the equivalent of like in real life stadiums they have like a net, so you could easily cut through it. It's basically just enough to keep a hologram from smashing into the actually no, it probably wouldn't even be a physical manifestation. It's just an electrical field that keeps holograms from going into the crowd, because that's what they're using. The ball is a hologram rather than a physical thing.
We should
You do know that your coach does have some pretty decent spells. He might be able to help put up some kind of walls or protections.
Okay. I think I need to talk with my coach, which I totally know the name in character without a blink.
Billy Jackson.
Bill Jackson, yes.
I wrote shit down for once in my life.
Hooray! I gotta talk to Coach Jackson about this.
It's
he might be
okay.
able to put up some good wording.
Every time I have to remember something for somebody's backstory, I'd be like,
That totally didn't just happen. I didn't just look at this character and then realize that I totally missed like a whole ass part of character creation.
Immediately cuts to Bill Jackson. Hey, Coach Jackson. No. I'm kidding.
No, if you want to go meet him, you can.
Well,
we should set up safety precautions, right?
You'd be able to set up a few spells that could be warding and such.
That's a good idea.
Also, it might just be a good idea to plan this with the coach, so that the guy who's in charge knows what the fuck is going on.
Also, the other problem might be he might cancel the game.
Oh well, no. See, that would give off the tip. That would make them, realize that we knew they were acting. That's not what.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to risk it. I think we need his help.
It's gonna have to be very persuasive. Can you do that?
Persuasive. Persuasive is my middle name if I had one.
It's not.
Mr. Persuasively.
Persuasively. That's what a dog does when it wants you to go away. It barks persuasively.
No, it's not.
Falls right off the tongue.
It's
nice.
Perfect.
That's good, Jesse. Yep. No.
Bark? It's barking persuasively.
Mr. Lee, you are quite good at this kind of tactical things. I appreciate it. Very organized.
It's a tough job, but somebody's gonna do it. Shades
Daiyo, where did he get those?
Hollow shades.
Wait.
He's so close. I'm glad to see that you're all like not drunk this time around. Also nice.
I beg your pardon.
Drunk. I never go drinking before a game.
No, I mean
That's
only on
called
Thursdays.
doping.
It's much appreciated. And thank you for showing up this time, Mr. Lee.
You might be surprised at how much doping that can do. You've never seen a drunken master on the court.
You probably shouldn't drink before a game. That's not very good, being a good role model.
Not at all. I've heard back in the day of insert year that was 70 years ago that they used to play with a leather ball and they would have a little swig every once in a while.
I bet.
That's just weird.
I'm thinking like original American football, which was very
So rugby.
yeah. More like Mudby.
Oh.
Anyway. So when I scored the touchdown after I hit the home run with the 3-pointer.
Oof. Yeah, that's my understanding of sports. Yeah, so what do you guys want to do?
I have you've seen me use it on that T-Rex when we were in the grid. A binding bomb. I was thinking of trying to use that on it. So we can keep it still. And I think we're gonna have to go the route Daiyo wants to go, which is we should just eliminate it as quickly as possible.
Agreed.
To that end, does anybody know where I can source some hate?
Store some heat.
So, hey,
You have pants for that. You know, you store the right.
No, the magic that makes you go fast.
Oh, haste.
Haste.
Yeah.
Why did I not? Why is that not a spell on my spell list? Oh well.
I thought you wanted to get high before the game.
That's also doping.
Not the point. I'm just thinking forward and thinking that perhaps having a little vial of some kind of an energy potion or a haste scroll or something might be helpful.
So are we sure that thing cannot keep infecting once it's dead?
No.
But
at least
the
it won't be
professor
moving.
is like, it's still infectious if you have prolonged contact with it, but as long as you're smart, you wear gloves, you wash your hair, all of the standard like typical things you would do, you should be fine, considering the nanites can't actively try to invade your cells.
Okay.
As the professor's saying that, I'm like pulling out this exact same gym bag from last time.
Oh no.
That looks familiar.
If you remember, we had a sidelight body in the gym bag.
Yep,
Yep.
I remember that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
You should probably burn all of
I
that.
believe. I'm gonna assume you threw that in the washing machine.
I hope so.
I'm gonna assume the
Both of you.
professor would have done it for you.
Or the bag will just attack you.
No comment. So
Mhm.
So
Shit.
I guess I'm gonna go talk with Coach Jackson, see how he can quarantine the court.
Would you like me to come with you? I do have authority to issue a warrant for this.
I don't know if we need to be so heavy-handed about it. You could just ask the man for his cooperation.
Well, one thing goes south, and this thing could infect the entire crowd.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is do you honestly think he's going to say no? His star player coming to him for a request to help save his teammate from some infectious gray goo monster? What the hell is he going to say no for?
It's
Look, you don't
true.
have to be all heavy-handed about it. You can literally just ask him.
There's some people that are mighty greedy about this kind of things and care more.
In which case, you have my permission to bonk him upside the head, but maybe don't lead with the whole wand.
I'm now thinking, because the coach is an arch wizard, like I'm just imagining like a wizard's court, but they're literally just coaches for sports teams.
Why did I just imagine like the scene in the Lego movie where there's just like all the different masters.
Just for some reason, I'm imagining like wizards out of like the Discworld, and like like unseen university wizards that are uniquely unsuited to athletics of any kind. They have that kind of like wedding cake meets carpet sort of fashion sense, you know.
I don't know.
A lot of musty velvet robes with really patty ass trim and hats that are like the size of coronets.
Oh,
I don't know what that's about.
It's just a whole look. It's just a look. The
What?
British humor fantasy school of hi Lilia, yeah, no, present company accepted. Because she's got a cute lace. She doesn't have that ratty ass shit. She's got that cute fresh dog on. Anyway, I've digressed enough.
You talked about
I would like to
drink.
go shopping.
You talked about a drink that might be a pick me up. Why don't you have some
Yeah.
of Mike's secret recipe as I pull up a water bottle?
Does it mechanically act like Ace? Because that's what I'm kind of looking for. I need that extra action.
Yes.
It sure does.
Universe.
Yeah.
What did we decide? What did we decide that like the Red Bull of this universe was like?
Oh no,
I don't think we did.
I don't think we're using that in Test Wave 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
No,
That was
that's
his
Dark
favorite
That's
drink.
That's corruption.
Yeah.
No, okay, no.
No, like
also,
there is a non-magical version of a Red Bull, but
That's not fun.
I got a 9 on my deception, so you know I'm lying.
Yeah, but I would be looking for some kind of an alternative where like maybe a spell scroll of haste that he could use if we don't have it in his spell list, or
Maybe my branded energy drink Bark Lightning might help.
Lyra says, haste. I thought you said taste. I have haste now. You okay?
Why would I say haste?
It's a remix of Taste because you're a Synthweaver.
That's beautiful, and Simon will give you both the finger guns. Like that is amazing.
Oh,
Why would I say printer?
That's a cantrip we need in Retroverse. Finger guns.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I concur 100%. That is absolutely a cantrip we need in the Retroverse.
At higher levels, it's 2. At the beginning, just 1.
Yeah, like bonus action 1d4.
How is everybody situated for potion? Just while we're here.
Potion.
Just regular old healing.
What are potions?
You know, the red things.
Oh, you mean the things that do nothing for me? I don't have any of those.
Anybody who's not a deadhead in need of getting some potions.
I use my spells usually.
Okay, Deadhead works. I've heard of a Restless biker gang called Deadhead, though. Oh man, now that's a great idea. Now, that's a henshin group. That's a henshin group because they all have bikes. The Deadheads.
Riders. Nice. Okay, so
Thaumaturgy and they Ghost Rider their heads.
yeah, I definitely need to spend some money on a couple of potions of greater healing or something.
you can do it. Yeah.
I could use a better
How
weapon.
much are they per unit cost?
Good question. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna get up and grab the DMG.
We might be able to buy it. You might be able to buy them in the stadium, but I wouldn't suggest it. They are way overpriced.
I was gonna say the markup on this be insane.
How much do we have?
We just got 2,000 each.
Oh, okay.
we
You
got-
should have 80 something if you haven't spent anything. 80,000.
No, I had 10 left.
Normal potions are common. I think greater is uncommon, and I think they just go up in rarity from there. But she's got the DMG. You know. Page 262, maybe? No, that's too far. Is it that bad that I almost know the page number that Potion's dealing on?
No, that is a good thing. Into your
I think that's.
It is page.
I think I'm way off though.
188. Okay, so a common healing potion is common. Greater healing is uncommon. It does heals 4d4 plus 4. Superior is rare and it heals 8d4 plus 8. And Supreme is very rare and heals 10d4 plus 20.
I don't know if that's mirrored for you guys.
No, it's good. That's so cute. I love it.
Yeah, it's got like a little burnt dragon on the core.
Oh.
Oh,
Okay, so
Little
I will say
dragon dangle.
dangle. Oh dear.
Not the right term, but you know what I mean.
If it dangles, it dangles.
yeah, which potions are you looking for?
Well, a potion of greater healing. I guess I don't need a potion of haste or anything because I've got help from a friend. Goodbye with a little help from my.
So we'll say the
Would a potion of like disease resist or like is that a thing?
Yes, I think. That's DMG stuff though.
potion of vitality. When you drink this potion, it removes any exhaustion you're suffering, cures any disease or poison affecting you, and for the next 24 hours, you can regain the max number of hit points for any hit dice you spend.
Wow.
Oh, those are very rare. I see those. That's a little out of price or anything.
Potion of lesser restoration, maybe?
That's not really a thing. Let's see.
You could flavor it as a potion, but it's just like a scroll of lesser restoration. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, if it's a scroll, then only certain people can use it.
Right.
So stupid.
I think no. Honestly, as far as like consumables gone, I think that's about all and more I really need. I don't really see as we have anything else that I can afford at this time. I'm probably going to start investing in a new magical item here soon. But for right now, I think I got about everything I need. Maybe that and a couple of common potions of healing. Just like one of the uncommon ones and two of the regulars.
Okay. I'll say that the shop you go to is you happen to find one. It's a sort of like little hole in the wall shop that when you first go in reminds you of like a much more homey candle shop. Something of like an upscale modern apothecary. The guy sitting behind the counter has like these big purple eyeglasses on. And so how many potions you looking for?
Two of the smalls and one of the medium and the red, please.
Small and then what was the other one?
Whatever the next level up.
2 common and then 1 uncommon, was it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. He is going to pull out a calculator and do some math and as he's like doing math and like on his calculator, he like takes the vials that he had just pulled out and moves them away as you see a cat that had been like underneath the counter jump up onto the table and like brush up against his hand, but is like eyeing those potion bottles. Like those things are going off this counter.
Mm-hmm.
I cast Quick Mask. Be a German Shepherd. And I look at the cat and growl.
Roll intimidation with advantage. It's a cat.
Okay, with advantage, thank goodness. 16.
It hisses and jumps and like crawls up his back. Ah, God damn it, Sage, get off! No, stop it! Stop! It's like
the second it reacts, spell's gone, and I just look over at everybody else.
He just holds the cat up by the scruff of the neck. Say goodbye. And the cat just like does one paw and he snaps and familiar vanishes into its little dimension.
Oh.
He killed that cat.
Wow.
That's okay. It has 8 more. Maybe.
Okay.
Hopefully.
That'll be 375 if you don't mind. Oh, I fibbed. It's not that. I can't do math.
It's okay. Everybody has bad days.
225.
Oh,
I got
225.
distracted by the familiar antics. Yes, 225.
there should be.
It
quite
was
a bit.
familiar, but not too familiar. Anyway.
Gridmaster is just
Right.
So I'll say while the rest of you are perusing the shop, he's got all kinds of potions in here. Like a handful of magical ones, but also like dozens and dozens of like the herbal oils and like different perfumes.
Sorry, I just got really excited. I just thought of something. I'm sorry.
He does actually, in fact, have a handful of magical perfumes. They're in their own little display case on the side. It's like a little glass box that spins all the way around, and it has like a little door on it.
Is there like handmade soaps that are
Yes.
just like hanging around? Because I feel like Lyra would be really into handmade soaps.
Can I get a pair of Air Mikey sneakers? And its boots is springing and jumping.
Oh my god.
Not here, but sure.
Okay. Sorry, that's why I got all excited. I just like epiphany.
Okay. I am looking at. I will say that for the thing that you were looking for, Bark, he does have it. They're pretty rare. And he kind of would like to hold on to them. So go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
How about I record a little saying that might help with an advertisement, me promoting your store.
Don't do that.
I am Bark Lee, and this is the best shop in the Citadel. 18.
Oh, okay. He's like, okay, so normally I wouldn't let go of them for less than 500, but if you do the ad, 430.
You got a deal. All right, I get the thing. You guys see me get a pair of latex gloves, and I put on a pair of latex gloves.
And if 1 gold will get you guys like all manner of fancy soaps and perfumes and shampoos and just normal mundane stuff in here if you're interested.
Oh, he very much is, but this is not the time for that. We'll come back for the lotion and soaps
We'll
later.
come back because Sammy's really into this shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We can have a shopping spree later.
Excellent.
We have business to attend to.
Yeah. I do though want to check on a +2 bow, longbow.
Okay.
Laser bow?
Let's start with a longbow, and then we will check what the arrows can I fire from there.
How do you shoot?
Unless there's actually a laser bow, and then that.
Laser bow? Border post
Or
bow?
a neon bow, or a Tesla bow.
Just a bow.
I'm okay. You know, a better weapon, and also not so loud, because mine is super loud.
A Tesla bow would be really awesome. It just shoots lightning.
I did draw the drug
A Tesla
picture.
bow would be loud though. Not quite as loud as a gun, but it's definitely going to be louder than a laser bow.
Yeah.
Because like Tesla coils are loud as fuck.
Mm-hmm. Also, the hand that'd be holding the bow would be numb after like a round or two.
Well, there are protections for it. That's why you
Yeah,
have
you
a little grip on
You
it.
just wear some gloves. It's fine.
Good installation. It's fine.
Oh, I got a pair for that. Bought latex gloves, so that works.
Why did you buy those? I have some on hand.
They're protection.
They're fancy gloves.
I
You actually see when you look a little closer, you can see that there are printed into the like cuff of them are arcane like runes and words.
Actually, since these are so fancy of gloves, would they be more like driver's gloves?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know. That's what I think of when I think of fancy
Yeah.
gloves. That or
They're
like the
definitely not like
1800s white
they're
gloves.
definitely not like latex.
Yeah.
They're a bit more sturdy than that.
Okay.
Like fingerless driving gloves or something.
Well, they're not fingerless because the whole point was to protect him from Cyblights.
No, but that would be the joke, right? It's like he's doing the style over sense thing where even though he's got these gloves, there's fingers cut out for rad points, and it completely undermines the point of the protection.
Do you guys remember how ridiculous Barkley still looks?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh God!
Wait, what am I wearing?
I don't even fucking remember. There was a shawl involved. Yellow,
Okay.
Oh,
dusty
I've changed at this point. When I woke up, I changed.
He's getting ready for a game. He's not going to the park.
Look at you being all fancy. Sammy leaves and you guys are actually getting shit done.
Yeah, she would be so proud if she could just see us now.
Yeah.
So I will say for the laser bow, Daiyo.
Yeah.
You can find a so like you can have one that has the +1. They're semi-custom made, so like the bow itself is an uncommon magic item, and it just changes the it deals an additional 1d6 radiant damage.
Okay.
If you want it to be a +1, that boosts it up to rare.
Yeah.
And they can do that. It'll take a couple of hours, but just a couple of hours.
How much would it be? Like a +1 laser bow?
+1 laser would be rare. So we'll say that it's about 2,500.
Okay. Then a regular laser bow, how much would it be?
That one would only be 450.
And it's the D8 plus D6 radiant, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Plus Dex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll get that. $400, how much?
It was 450.
Okay.
I go to the nearby Kneebox store. Get my pair of air mics.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
They were boots of jumping.
They're on page 156. Uncommon. First thing on the thing. Very specific, I know.
Oh, they're not called boots of jumping anymore. They're boots of striding and springing.
Mm-hmm. But I like to imagine they're just like red Nike shoes.
Yeah. We'll say those ones are typically they were those ones would be 225.
Okay. I also pull out my cell phone and I call my
For what it's worth, you do know that those are not legal to wear in the court typically. But if this is a fake game where you're throwing it, then
yeah, I was planning on faking it until stuff goes down.
But in a typical match, those are not a legal accessory.
Yeah. I would call my. I keep forgetting what they were called.
Agent.
My agent. I call my agent. And sorry, agents out there, and I talked to them about maybe trying to set up a branding deal with air mics.
Okay. Okay.
You guys are probably used to it. I would like to think just every once in a while he just calls his agent and is like, "Oh, we should do this one."
Mm-hmm.
That's probably why you see Barkley's face like in all these spots that just don't make sense, like Barkley Pals or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Anybody else doing anything in preparation?
For the arrows, I can just buy the silver arrows like regular D&D, just not to waste more time.
How much was I saying were silvered arrows? I'll just say they cost twice as much as regular arrows.
I mean, I'm used to buy them with Koi. I made the whole calculation.
Yeah, whatever the standard calculation is. I don't actually remember what it is. Oh, that's why, because it's not in this fucking book. It's in the PHP for some reason.
I know for 100 gold, I can buy like 20 quivers or 40 quivers.
Good lord. Yeah, you've got plenty.
Would for a laser bow, would the quivers just be like almost like a little battery? You just put the battery in.
Actually, yeah, no, I really like that. For that one, it's actually less of like a quiver of arrows, and it's like a little box that you attach to the bow, and it has this silver thread that when you knock it, it actually just brings it out and then snips it, and it turns into a rigid arrow.
Nice. Okay.
Hey, Gregson. I agree. In chat, he said, "Those boots are fun. They remind me of the boots from the Super Mario Brothers movie."
Oh.
I have blocked that memory out of my mind. I have no recollection
You're
of
welcome.
this.
I haven't seen it and I really want to see it, but I want to see it with someone.
Yeah, it's
where is it
definitely
at?
something you need company for.
Is it on any streaming sites that we are not sponsored by?
Probably not.
Not that we can tell.
It was on Netflix for a while, but I don't think it's on there anymore. And that always depends on region.
Have to make a watch party and put it on Discord or something, like stream. I mean, yeah. Anyway.
So, anything else you guys are doing before you go meet Bill Jackson?
Nope.
No. Looks good.
I should buy an armor, but I'm not gonna.
I could be smart, but nah.
Yeah.
What's the point of being smart when you become
Aesthetics.
cool?
Fun fact, the DVD for Super Mario Brothers is $4, but the Blu-ray is $20, and there's only 2 left in stock.
Wow.
People are getting desperately bored.
Yeah, I don't see it anywhere streamable, unfortunately. Anyway, to Coach Jackson.
Okay.
Or should I say, to Coach Jackson.
So are you going alone, or are you bringing everybody with you, or what?
Ooh.
It's up to you. You know that that.
Let's see. I would take Koyo with me, because she's kind of like the legal action, like the police officer equivalent.
Yeah. Technically, so is Crypto, but you know.
And Crypto, because Crypto's a good boy. Sorry, everybody else.
I feel like that's valid.
It's a heavy burden to bear.
He has the badge now.
Also, we look cool because you're like a little bony boy, and then we're like beef.
Little pony boy.
Just flanked by beefcake.
Sorry, I'm just thinking that like me and my son, and just my son version of Barkley.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me or my bony boy ever again.
Each limb is like just like a knuckle bone or like a finger bone in size.
I mean, Simon's really more of like he's more the slim gymnastic type than the big beefy boys, but you know, whatever.
So yeah, you make your way easily enough to the private entrance to the stadium, where there's usually a guard that's right there, and he just immediately lets you in. Hey, Bork, how's it going? And
Hey, do the
like,
secret handshake.
says
or
it by
something.
name, and yeah, and like Crypto's like, how the fucking everybody know you? It's completely deserted. There are no fans here yet. You've still probably got about
chocolate cake
8 or 10 hours before the game really starts. There are staff wandering around, so like the main area where all of the food courts are and everything, you can smell food. There's food everywhere because they're already prepping and everything.
Oh, I I would talk to the security guard or whichever one would be at a desk or that equivalent, and I would have both of them have backstage stuff or whatever, just so
Okay,
we're not
yeah.
stopped every 5 minutes. And they're like, "Hey, who are these?"
Yeah,
two?
you can easily enough do that. You make your way further into the stadium and down into the lower levels and to Bill Jackson's office. He's sort of like sitting at his desk with his feet up on the desk, just watching replays of the last game. And hey, Bark and company. I'm gonna call. I'll call you back. All right, bye. And close. Ends the call he was on.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, you guys have been up to some crazy shit lately. Sorry to have to like call you out of it. I know you were kind of on vacation for a while, but
no, it's all right.
I mean,
it's definitely all right. I greatly enjoy these games. Speaking of which, we might have a security threat, which is why these two are here. Do you know of any way we could like ward off the court magically in case something really bad happened? We're afraid that there's somebody that's disguising themselves as a player, but they aren't actually a player, and they might cause harm to the rest of them. Like, apparently I'm the main target, which I'm not surprised, but they might be
if
after other
that's the
people.
case, should we? Like, my first thought would be to cancel, but I'm guessing you would have mentioned that if that was your first thought. So
if we were to cancel the game, he might disappear and we will never find him again. But if we are able to contain him and make sure everybody's safe here, it would be to the benefit of all people.
I then fill in Coach Jackson with our plan of attack. And
do you tell him what you're looking for
No.
and what you're facing? Okay.
No.
So are you expecting they're gonna like? Do you think they're gonna use the crowd as hostages, or do you think they're gonna be lobbing fireballs? Because I can have counterspell on hand for something like that, but I've only got a couple. I tend to use my spells for other stuff. I've already blown through a couple today with preparations.
They might use the crowd as hostage.
Okay. I may have to look at my my spell book and see what I can pull off.
I like to think his spell book is actually a phone.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Let me pull up my spell book.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's so expensive to transfer in from data from spellbook to spellbook.
It super would be, yeah. Yeah.
Off of 5e mechanics, anyway. If we knew a high-level cleric, they could cast Forbidden. That would help, maybe. But that's a high-level cleric thing.
Are they considered undead for the purposes of anything at all?
No, they're not
robots.
undead. I think they're actually humanoids.
Oh, even worse. Great. Darn dirty humanoids.
He's like there is
Rangers.
I could just see a ranger where every time they get favorite enemy, it's just a different humanoid. That's it. They don't do anything else.
Like just a specific individual?
No,
like oh, this level I really hate Dan.
Like the ranger encounters one orc at like third level, and then I think fourth level they get favorite enemy again.
It's like
so like he gets like immediately racist towards one group or something.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would fly.
Our ranger took up favorite enemies liches, which has been very useful, to be honest.
Yes, it has.
Liches is a favorite enemy? Can you even do that?
Undead. Technically undead.
I mean, sure. Generic undead, I guess. But like, you would have to be very successful.
Don't tell my DM.
A favorite enemy.
He's like, so looking at my spells, I do have wall of force, though I definitely wouldn't be able to cover the entire stadium with that. But I can at least like cordon off part of it, or I could maybe I could make a dome and trap him in a fishbowl with you, but I don't know if you'd be willing to risk that. The other thing I do have is interesting. I do have a number of illusion spells, and there are a couple other members on the team that do have illusions. We could set up some things to make the crowd be an illusion. We're going to have a lot of pissed off fans, but I mean, better pissed off than dead, yeah?
No, they wouldn't be dead necessarily.
Just
Well,
in danger.
Well, or hostages,
Yeah,
or
hostages, yeah,
whatnot.
that'd be bad.
well, refunding tickets might be a nightmare.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a hell of a lot better than the lawsuits that would happen if they get killed. So,
You're the coach.
there is a thing. I haven't used it in a while. There's one where I can sort of program an illusion until a certain point when it's triggered. But like, I don't know, who is this you're dealing with? Like, is it like an angry fan, an ex-girlfriend, like
It might be someone on the
one
team.
of
We don't know what they look like. They're disguised as somebody else.
And you don't have anything of theirs to like scry on or anything?
Daiyo, give it back.
Yeah.
Was that piece of clothing tied to that individual? Out of character, I'm asking. Trying to remember.
Yeah. It was-
Supposed to.
I could have an item that would help with scrying.
We could try that. I mean, if they're in disguise, it still would only show the disguise, but it would at least show if it's somebody we recognize.
I'll go talk to my fishy friend. I'll be right back. You two get comfortable. I think we got coffee right there. Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye. Bye. And he closes the door.
It is superb coffee.
And I'm like, Daiyo. Whew. Daiyo. Do you have that piece of clothing or whatever?
Yeah, sure. Have it with me.
Can I have it?
I guess, yeah.
All right, thanks. I nab
I
it.
don't see why not, I guess.
I nab it and I run off.
So have you been a coach for a long time?
A couple decades. He's that kind of like older gentleman where he's got wrinkles, but the bald head and like somewhat like more muscular arms than you would expect for a coach. He's just wearing like a t-shirt. He's like, yeah, I've been doing it for a while, a couple decades now. These goofy dudes. They're my ticket to the top. Bark might be he's a bit of a ham, but he's good on the court.
Cool.
So I recognize you from stream. I don't know you, Miss.
Koyo.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Billy Jackson, owner of the Jolly Rogers.
Yes, I know who
obviously.
you are.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna get some coffee. Just walks across. He's like trying to do small talk, but you can tell he's super awkward and doesn't know what the fuck to expect from you guys because you're basically the equivalent of cops just sitting in his office waiting for his employee to come back.
She's the most copy cop that there ever was.
You hear like a squeak of sneakers running down the hallway and just I'm at the door.
I think that's him now. As you entered the room already.
Just everybody's like, oh
your ears like twitch like
What I just posted in Zoom is what I'm just imagining kind of looks like. I don't know. I found a basketball coach named Phil Jackson. He looks more like
yeah, that actually
he looks more like a colonel than a coach, if you ask me.
He does a little bit, yeah.
Looks like Whitebeard from One Piece.
Yeah, he does look like Whitebeard. Oh, anime. Anyway.
Dilma showing me pictures of reverse afros from One Piece.
There's reverse afro. Okay, no. Anyway.
I'll send pictures later. Don't worry about it.
Okay, so this thing needs to gets to. He's gonna take the thing from you and attempt to cast crying, and this thing gets to make a saving throw. So he's like, all right. So first off, you need to tell me everything you know about this thing, because the more I know, the higher my chances of the spell actually working.
Looks at the other two.
Do you know zombies? It's like that. But
so it's an undead?
No.
She'll take out like her report and like a copy of a report that is safe for civilians to read.
Oh, the redacted version.
Yeah.
Wait, does she?
I think you spent more ink blacking this out than you did writing it.
This is all you need to know, sir.
This isn't a lot.
That's all you need to know, sir. I am making sure that you are staying safe and that whoever is behind this doesn't go after you next.
Okay. This is probably going to take a couple of minutes. I think I'm going to go, if you don't mind, I'll take a few minutes to cast this on in the privacy of my own leisure, if you don't mind.
Very well.
There, I think the place down 3 or 4 shops down has like fried donuts. They're great.
Well,
I think he wants us to leave.
Might as well get some fried donuts.
Oh, sure.
So where's everybody else?
Apparently walking back from the market district.
Yeah, I assume a couple of them are walking back from purchasing things.
Daiyo accidentally stumbles into a studio that's like a modeling photography agency, and you're like, good, the model's here, come on.
I'd roll with it.
Oh, good. She brought her own props. Come on.
Supposed to be magazine cover for Athletics Illustrated.
Oh my god, wow. Can we please have this happen? I want Tomo to find like this like magazine cover and be like, what the fuck is this?
I've saved
just next corruption game. Tomo just has a nosebleed out of nowhere because she just sees an ad on her phone.
Like Daiyo has somehow ended up in an advertisement for like a JRPG mobile app.
Oh jeez. Help us save the world. You know?
Oh no, it's like Maid Razor 8 or some bullshit like that. You know, like one of those really creepy incel games where you like have to raise your perfect princess.
Oh jeez. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that shit. I've been getting some ads in like for. So you play Pokemon Go, right?
No, I don't anymore. But you get those in Pokemon Go?
I do.
No. I have a like an IV calculator app for it, and that serves ads. And one of those has been like that. It's like,
ooh,
no, you don't get to control what ads they give you.
Yeah.
Back to the scene.
So, about 15 minutes later, or no, probably be shorter than that. Probably about like 12 minutes later or so. The door opens. Your folks can come back.
Like turn around and I got like
a
box of
donuts.
They're amazing, and they are completely free because bark.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask the cost. So we come back with a box of 5 left in the baker's dozen, probably.
Okay. You come back and he's got this like mirror on the desk that's just flat on the desk, and he actually starts to roll it up. It's a little bizarre seeing like an actual what looks like a glass mirror roll up. It looks like there was that, and he had like handful, like he had his wand off to the side, and Crypto, you can smell like a little bit of like incense or something in the room. He's like, well, bad news, it didn't work. Guy either has some kind of protection on him or just that bad lucky day. Couldn't pierce through far enough to see anything other than smoke and mirrors. Okay, fine. And just puts the mirror in the drawer.
I get it.
That's troubling as I look at the other two.
I mean, I didn't think it
He's like, for what it's worth, the chances weren't very high. I only know very little about this guy. The less I know about him, the better the chances that they will resist the spell. And I can't say this was super helpful in getting me more familiar with anybody. And he just hands back the like mostly black redacted page of notes.
Just like the.
Was that a printer test?
Extremely dangerous. Do not let it.
Yeah.
Very important. Do not redact this part. And just redact it.
No, that's a line. Please redact this part.
Redact from here down. It's just one big black box.
I apologize. There's not much else I can do.
Does she have like the really big Magnum High like blackout Sharpie with like the extra ink tank attached to it?
She has like a whole Office Max in her foot. Like
that's another
Office Max in her bag. Nice.
That's another spell idea. Redacted. If someone casts a spell, the verbal component, if you cast redacted, they can't cast it again if they don't make a save.
Whoa.
I feel like this is counterspell.
Oh, gnarly.
No, it would be counterspell if they cast it again. It would be very situational.
So it's kind of like it would be like locking out from like repeat performance.
I was thinking like Pokemon. There's like a move in Pokemon.
Yeah, the opposite of Encore, basically, right?
Yeah. Anyway.
So he's like, but I can definitely set up like illusions to make the crowd not be real, or I can try and put up some walls, but you'll have to like herd it in one direction for the walls to really be effective.
I think we should go with the crowd one.
It seems to me that if we tell people not to show up and he's already here, he might already
That's the other thing. If they're going to come disguised as a fan, then they're going to know that we know if we cancel everybody's tickets.
Exactly. So if I believe that we should
I'm more worried about like having spells to protect the crowd then more than us.
Yes, this is that should be our main focus, because we should keep it as like everything is fine, just heightened security.
Well, you are with the Knights of the Grid, yeah?
Correct.
Could feasibly get a couple of De-Fraggers. It's not going to be a ton, but a couple of those walls could be helpful to at least guard the exits.
I can get some of my people down here. I'll
make sure that we have an increased police presence with like potions on hand in case. I mean, depending on what kind of firepower this threat is packing, but hopefully they'll be focused on the heroes here, right?
Hopefully.
Try
my best.
Yeah, and she'll shoot a message to her team and be like, round up here, we need security double time.
Okay. You can easily enough round up a good troop of
I'm assuming she has like a team that she's just like,
You just hear the Avengers theme and like just bajillion De-Fraggers just show up.
No, it's probably like
They all
3
gate
or
in.
4. It's not
Yeah.
like that many.
So,
Most of them have hollow spears.
you are probably sergeant rank then, which means you are in control of a section of 10 knights.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
I actually have this written down. I am
Okay.
very impressed at myself, and when I say myself, I mean Kevin.
Is
'cause-
okay, question. Is Crypto one of those 10?
No, because he's a
Ooh.
knight virtual.
Oh.
He could be if he wanted to. She can conscript somebody into it, but
She did offer him because he's very capable and she likes his sneeze. So if he so chooses, she's very impressed with him.
Did you say sneeze?
Sneeze.
Yeah, sorry, when you said that, like, everybody tilted their head a little bit.
Yeah.
Like his moxie,
his four biceps, you know.
Oh God.
Oh, I
Sneezing
thought
puppies are really cute.
I like his knees, and it's like that doesn't make sense. He wears knee pads. Can't see them. His steez.
He's the bee's knees.
Yeah, I thought sneeze, and I'm like, wait, does she get like he likes people's sneeze noises? Like, what's?
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
That's a weird no.
I mean, puppies sneezing are real cute. Though.
Oh my god, he probably sees us like a doggo.
His face. It's just like I was not prepared for this.
No, I'm thinking like my
I did not
dogs.
sign
My
up for
dogs
this.
never sneeze like that. It was always like, "Whew."
Have you ever had your dog do a reverse sneeze where they like rapid inhale?
Yes, it's scary.
And you're like, are you choking? Are you ready to barf? I don't know.
Please.
Oh, okay. It's
stop.
just
Don't.
a sneeze. Yeah, I'm very familiar with that.
Something only
Yeah.
dog owners know.
Mm-hmm. So, we will say that you guys get your setup with protections for the guests, for the fans. Bill will attempt to get as many like shield spells, like wall spells up as he can. I actually think he can only do one at a time. I think it might be concentration.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, they usually make a pretty good limit on that kind of stuff. You'd have to. I know Chris Perkins got around it by being like, there's a magic rune hidden somewhere on the wall, and it's got like a permanent.
Actually, no, I
unseen
did say
servant
that.
or
He's
something.
got I'll say he's like, okay, so it's gonna tap into the funds a bit. But the insurance company, I guess, would probably rather I tap into these funds than, worry about insurance claims. I can do some glyphs of warding around, with the trigger being that when a harmful a creature with harmful intent crosses that glyph, it will trigger a wall of force, blocking them from getting to the fans. It won't be much. It will be like at like the stairwell entrances, but it's something at least. It'll make it a little bit harder to get to them.
That should work, right?
I mean, I hope so. At $300 gold a pop.
All
I
right.
feel like it would be worth it to save.
Oh, it definitely is. I'm just saying.
See if we can write that off for tax.
I don't know that necessary security precautions count as that, but I will consider it. It may, however, be able to be. It should be covered in our insurance policy, though.
Wouldn't this go under extraordinary circumstances?
Say that again.
I'm not even in the room. Never mind.
If they use any kind of fire, we could use some kind of. We could label it as arson to certain extents. Whatever. Anyway, I'm not a lawyer, and so.
Imagine you do like the mask where you spin. You're like in a suit and glasses and tie, and like I'm not a lawyer. As you throw like a briefcase.
Hi,
just
lawyer,
rip it all
part
off.
of SEPA and SEPA. Sorry, dumb other D&D show joke. But But
yeah, I got you.
So I'll say that you guys get everything set up. Crypto and Koyo meet up with like the security guards at the stadium to discuss like where in here to place people and where to put the De-Fraggers since you've only got so many.
Mm-hmm.
So like Koyo, you can instantly call your 10 to you. You can probably get a little bit more than that. You can probably get a troop of about 33, counting your 10. Relatively easily, especially if you are more open with them about the threat you're facing than you were.
Oh yeah,
with,
no,
with
everybody that is on my team gets a full debriefing.
Yeah,
I just don't trust Phil.
Yeah,
at all.
That's not his name though either. So he doesn't like you either.
Exactly.
Phil, we got a satyr here now.
I don't trust him, period.
While the rest of them are talking, he sort of pulls Bark aside and he's like, so I know that I don't know if you're going with it because it's their shindig or what, but be careful, Bark. I get the feeling that what you're dealing with is pretty gnarly. Use your illusions. Don't let it get near you. Pretty much all the shit that I say of stay on them. Don't let them pass. Let it pass you. Do not let it touch you.
All right. Careful is my middle name.
Oh, it's not.
I'm waiting for we gotta have the rules of 3. I gotta make that joke one more time. Bark, you're dying.
Persistent.
Dying is my middle name.
No, it's not.
All right.
So, the rest of you, what is your plan? We'll say that over the next couple of hours, they get all of these magical protections set up. Koyo gets her crew of a couple dozen De-Fraggers and Holoknights. It turns out that the majority of Knights material are actually De-Fraggers, whereas the majority of Knights virtual are Holoknights.
At least it's not the city watch and the city guard.
Yeah, not that. That's stupid. What do the rest of you want to do? How do you want to set this up so that you're prepared for when the game starts?
The Simon would like to be on the court and be immediately available when this thing makes its move. So to that end, he proposed either being kind of either disguised as the teammate directly opposite of Bark, so that he's always got coverage on him and they always stay within 5 or 10 feet, or a teammate of his that will be close enough that he'll be able to render assistance.
How well would Simon know sports ball?
Well, he's got shit all for athletic score, but his acrobatics are pretty good, so he can keep up with you even if he doesn't know what he's doing.
What about, like rules wise? Do you think he would know the rules really well?
He's got a 0 bonus for athletics, so let me just roll that beautiful bean.
I'm thinking more intelligence based, because that's your thing.
Yeah, well, that is his thing.
You could disguise as a ref.
Okay.
Yeah, so for this one, rules it's a hobby thing. If he would be into sports, then he would know the rules. If he's not into sports, he's probably not going to know the rules because he just doesn't care.
Well, no, that's a good point, but referee would be an acceptable alternative because that way he doesn't have to get physical, but he can still be.
That's also fair.
So that's a reasonable compromise.
And you could be, you could be that third ref on the court that doesn't do anything. The other two make all the calls.
Just make bad calls.
Mm-hmm.
The technical difficulty, foul on those guys.
Mm-hmm.
The whole crowd, boo.
Crypto could get like a like security jacket and hat, like pull it down low and just kind of like walk maybe the outer part of like
nobody's
the
gonna question that.
Koyo's gonna like share with you the plans because she considers you like on the same level.
To be honest, Crypto with a security hat, good motif. I like that.
Just like down low, like hiding his glowy eyes.
And we're gonna have people up there and there, and make sure that all of the exits are covered.
Okay.
Like I think like a LAPD hat is what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Where do Daiyo and Lyra want to be in this?
I want to be up in the thing where the cameras and lights are.
So there's like the press box, which is off usually at either end of the court. And Bark had also mentioned like up in the rafters, which is higher up, which would be a direct drop onto the court. But
Would there be like a spot above the press box that she could like lay prone on top of?
Hello,
Actually,
welcome
yeah.
to the press box. How you doing?
Yeah, there would be. There is also outside the press box is like a small balcony. Typically there would be press there, but she could also easily enough be there too.
Sorry, I'm just imagining Daiyo, just like normal Daiyo, and then you just have like a photographer's camera, and you're like, yeah, I'm part of the press.
Just
Everyone
like
with a camera and with a bow.
just like click hunter's mark.
That's awesome.
Lyra could possibly be in like the announcer box to be another.
She could come in and sing the Radix national anthem.
Ooh. A camera that casts Hunter's Mark would actually be a cool match.
Wait,
That would be evil.
or as the mascot?
It just occurred to me that like, oh yeah, who's gonna be the team mascot in the funny suit?
That's a big reveal.
The Jolly Rogers mascot would be a giant skeleton pirate
So
with like his classic pirate hat.
Good.
And for comparison for what the size of the field is like, the actual court itself is about 100 feet by 50, but it continues out much further than that into the stands. You've got maybe another 20 feet to either side of the court before the stands start.
This is home court then. So, you would see the logo of the Jolly Rogers, which is the Jolly Roger, the skull with the two bones behind it. But the skull has like a red bandana on underneath and a pirate hat on top. And it's got like an evil grin or something.
how high is the ceiling?
It is 50 feet.
And the rafters are like 10 feet below that? Because there's gonna be like lights and things and shit.
They're not much further below that. It's maybe about, depending on what kind of rafter it is, between 5 and 10 feet.
Okay, so I can snipe without problem up to 600 feet. So I'm pretty sure I'm okay anywhere in this place.
I have a question, Kat.
Mhm.
Can I use Hertz's keytar to make myself fly and then use the ring to turn invisible?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I think so. I don't think the ring requires. It's not a spell.
It
I don't think.
says
Could
it says
Hertz fly? I didn't know that.
Apparently she needs some upgrades after she retired.
Yeah, the
She never retired, baby.
all of
She died on
the
stage.
shit you guys got isn't exactly the same as it was for them.
I mean, I'm sure she's gotten upgrades since she saved the world.
She got
Hertz's guitar
Hertz's
is
guitar.
it's a combination of the horn of blasting and also a bard instrument of the bard, so it automatically has like fly and something else. I don't remember what the others are.
I think comprehend language.
fly, invisibility, levitate, protection from good and evil, and thunderwave, sharp tones, and party ball.
Ah,
Nice.
I think the Lyra version has comprehend language.
You remain invisible, and you can do it. It doesn't take concentration. So yeah, you can fly and be invisible. But you have to cast fly before you activate the ring. But
yeah, that's why I was asking.
So Lyra's going to be a ghost.
Yep, I'm gonna be a ghost. I'm gonna fly above the thing and look down. and
That's good because
Listen
if they
wi-
sneeze on you, you'll die.
Now, here's the real question, though, Lyra. Are you
Okay.
hiding how you're going invisible?
What ring? Wink.
The hilarious thing is there's only like two or three of you that have a high enough passive perception to even notice at all.
What
And-
ring to rule them all?
And of those two individuals, who gives a shit?
Ooh. Another good
Three,
question.
but yeah.
I have a
Uh,
I don't even know.
I mean,
Shit.
do you really
Koyo
care
doesn't.
anymore if she stole the ring from that?
I mean, I don't even know if she stole the ring. I just see her put on a fucking
I'm just
ring.
curious.
Also,
Like-
They did just go shopping.
Also,
Yeah.
Koyo wasn't
Yeah.
there for that, so you don't
Exactly,
you wouldn't know the
that's what I'm
context.
saying. Yeah. I was
And
just checking
Lyra-
that for some shit.
Lyra has so many rings. You don't know what she's got.
She was holding back.
Now she's just going out pimping on her hands with like millions of rings on just to hide the one ring.
Oh god, in third
No,
edition,
I mean,
you could
she
do
already
that.
had-
She already always had a lot.
Yeah.
Even more, just covered the fingers.
In third edition, my Blake used to do that with liches, where it would have a liched out have 10 rings on. It was ridiculous. But anyway,
Yeah,
I keep distracting everything.
you're fine. So, Lyra is going to be invisible and flying, presumably over the court, yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
I guess Barkley's going to be Barkley, and he's going to be holding back on using the sneakers. Magically, anyway.
I'm gonna sit by in like the fan area, like in the front seat where like the yeah, you know, where like the celebrities sit, and she's gonna keep an eye on every single person that's there, including coaches and other people, like anybody that's working there.
Oh, and I would be using, I guess at a constant, minor illusion to disguise my hands so I don't look like I'm wearing gloves.
Okay.
I don't think it'll matter too much, but just a precaution.
Okay.
All right.
Going to be on the court side in my new black and white striped shirt.
Okay. And I will say that we will end there because next session is going to be very interesting how it goes.
Yeah, we just pulled a critical
Probably going to
roll.
be a bit.
We just pulled
yeah.
a critical roll where we spent 2 hours prepping.
I mean, this is great. Like, that's what I was planning. I was expecting you guys to try and figure out how to do this.
Also, this is not one of those characters that will go in blind into a fight.
I am so excited for this. It's gonna be so much fun.
Oh boy.
It is weird not
So
it is weird not playing a patience character.
I am so excited for this. Yeah. So next time we pick up, we will basically start with a game and figure out at what point your guest of honor will show up.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So unless anybody else wants to say anything, I guess we'll go around and do plugs.
I think we're good.
Okay. I'm gonna start with just the one on my screen. Jesse, what do you have going on?
Sunday morning will be my next game as we return to Waterdeep and deal with the fallout of not dying to Chosen of Bane and destroying a Manchun clone and God only knows what else. Oh, and also the Patience's amazing PTSD. So I'm sure it'll be a very special episode next.
The warlocks patron sacrificing themselves to save their
Yes, he did. Oh, and
their
now
warlock.
we get to deal with all of that wonderful.
He's not dead.
Into it.
He's just, trapped in one of the lower planes where he's going to be tortured eternally.
He's not dead. It's just
fine.
worse,
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
But I have an idea. Well, yeah, I will have had an idea Sunday morning.
I will have had an idea. Yeah. Lluis, what do you got going on?
So maybe you're just thinking, I can't get enough Fish Girl. Then you can check out on Wednesday the Selling Tavernas in this channel where I play another fish girl with a crossbow instead of a bow, which so
Because
it's totally
Lluis
different.
definitely doesn't have a type.
Which is
No.
also 12th level now.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow. So we get for playing every other week.
Right?
Apart from that, I do a lot of art. So you can check out that too.
Lots of
Oh
lots
yeah,
of,
I did that.
Reese's background was done by Lluis.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went there and painted.
I look at it every day at work. It's literally my background, and I love it. Still, it's my favorite.
So much fun. Yeah, that I don't know what. Yeah.
Okay.
Patreon if you want the more lewd stuff.
Thank you. Yeah. Also that. I did the art for the Retroverse. Ugh, so many things.
It's hard to keep up.
Mhm. Yeah. So, Callie, what have you got going on?
You can find me at Capped Callie on Twitter. I do art. My next 2 games are on Sunday. I'm in that Waterdeep game that they were talking about, and also Dungeon Academy. Hey!
We're gonna finish this thing, baby.
We're gonna finish it, hopefully, and I hope Airly's not gonna do something really stupid that I've been thinking about for the last 3 weeks. But whatever.
I will murder you. I will murder you. I will come to you and murder you.
For those that don't know, in Dungeon Academy, they're at like the last part of the rod of 7 parts, where they're going after the 7th piece.
Yeah, we're mid-battle with the big baddie.
Yeah.
Are you still fighting Shemeshka?
No.
Mishka, the wolf.
Mishka, that's the
Mishka,
one.
wolf spider.
Oh, okay.
He's worse.
Damn.
He's
We fought
considerably worse.
Shemeshka like a half a year ago. Come on, keep up.
Yeah, I just got the name fucked up. Yeah, go check her out. You still doing commissions?
I am still doing commissions, and it would really help me out right now. And I have a lot of time on my hands because I don't really have school anymore. So commission.
Please, she's great.
Examples of her commission work. If you watch what Lluis was mentioning, the To Hell We Ride and Descent in Avernus campaign, all the characters' portraits were made by Callie.
Amazingly.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, she does super work, so hire her ass.
Aya, you're up next.
Hey, everybody. My next game is gonna be tomorrow at 4:30 on Mustang's art channel. I think that's what their channel is. You can find it on my Twitter. We're doing Death House from Chris Estrad, and I'm playing a very eccentric, very crazy, very something extra kind of vampire. It's been really fun, and I get to be as loud and obnoxious as I want to be, so that's good. Oh,
Nice.
And then also Dungeon Academy on Sunday, and also Star Wars game on Saturday, so Sunday on also Mustang's channel.
Nice.
That's gonna be fun. I'm gonna admit all the droids. Also, you can commission me. I have commission stuff on my page too. If you want, it's fine.
Reese, what you got going on?
I got nothing. I will see you guys.
It happens.
I will see audience in like 2 weeks, but I'll see you guys just around on the webs.
Yeah.
I just noticed your shirt, at least the top of it. It says Cyber Puppy.
Yeah, it's a
Oh God, the green screen.
Oh, it's so cute.
And
I
I've
can't
been
believe
wearing
you got.
this
Oh,
shirt.
nice.
I love it.
By Barks a Lot Design, I think is what he goes by on Patreon. Trying to remember his Twitter handle.
Sir,
Oh yeah, it's not really correct for the universe, but I've got my my dice solar system today for the radical.
I love
That's
it.
awesome. Yeah.
Wait, did you say dice solar system?
Yeah,
Yeah, look
look,
at
it's
my
a D20
chart.
sun.
That is
Everyone-
100% accurate to the solar system. Do you not
Yeah.
remember the other planets in the solar system are shaped like dice?
Did you not
Except
read
the
the
star-
moon reports?
The stellar body is the D20 in this one, so it's not quite accurate, but it's really freaking close.
The sun is a D20.
D20.
Yeah, it's accurate.
So, oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll have to
Okay.
share
There's
the
two-
moon
there's two
report that I
D10s in the
actually
universe.
fucking
Alright,
the moon
yeah.
Solar
report that I
system.
actually wrote because I'm a fucking nerd with all of
Cooler
you
than I thought.
guys.
Sun
Yeah,
is the most greatest, biggest dice in the world.
I don't have anything else really other than Sunday's game. No Trackless C tomorrow. No Trackless C tomorrow, unfortunately, because some other folks are doing a playtest, and the lovely Maddie was not available. But follow me. I'm cool. I write shit. I don't do art, but I write things. So hire me to edit your stuff, because working from home fucking sucks. And a lot of the folks here have Patreons and commissions. Go give them money, because we could all use some help, and take that like same $5 and start throwing around to all of your friends.
I guess to close it off.
Yeah.
This show and all the many other shows that are on this Twitch and YouTube. If you're on Twitch page, or if you go to visit the Twitch page, below the video are all the playlists, all the backlogs for everything. So you can catch up on stuff. If you've got nothing to do and you want to see some D&D stuff, there you go. Just recently, the latest thing that I published on the DM's Guild with Aya, our friendly Koyo here, is the Connection to All Warlock patron that is based off of her Dungeons Academy character, Lilia, and it is the most downloaded PDF that I have on my account. So
It looks really good. I looked through it. I bought it and looked through it. It looks good.
I'm definitely thinking about putting a Lilia Warlock PC in my Dark Matter game.
The only flack I've gotten for it is a single typo where I had like an E where it wasn't supposed to be. So
Nice.
I consider that good.
If you want a lovely non-emo centric warlock, and you just want somebody that is powered by love and friendship, I got you covered. We got you covered. I did the art, Scotty did the writing.
It turned out to be a surprisingly very appropriately themed Warlock patron these times.
Yeah.
It's pay what you want.
Everybody can use a little friendship.
You can put $0. It doesn't matter. It's fine. So,
Yeah.
But it's worth a lot more. Take it from somebody
Sure.
you know.
Yeah, so we'll see you all next week, or in 2 weeks. Next week is the corruption game, where I don't know, maybe like the Lovebirds will be reunited or some crazy shit. And also
I don't
there's
think
a
so.
war,
It's gonna
a battle.
drag on until I die.
No,
and then
here.
the week
Things are
after
happening.
that, you guys may actually meet a true Cyblight in the flesh for the first time.
in the
Wait, you mean
flesh.
the one we had before wasn't real? Or is it
You'll
just
find
like
out
you
next time.
Oh,
No.
yay!
Shit.
No.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
See ya.